In a world where we believe most of the past has been uncovered already, mysteries still lie beneath the surface, literally. Ancient maps, underwater ruins, and DNA evidence suggest that an advanced, seafaring culture may have navigated the globe long before recorded history. So, let's dive into that evidence. First, let's talk about the Piri Reis maps, one of the most intriguing pieces of historical evidence in existence. Created by an Ottoman admiral in 1513, this map includes remarkably precise details of the coast of South America and Antarctica. Yes, Antarctica, at a time when it was actually supposedly unknown and buried under ice. But here's the strangest part of this whole thing. This map shows Antarctica's coast not as a frozen wasteland, but with typography, valleys, rivers, mountains, only visible when the ice sheets were much thinner. Scientists estimate this would date the map's source materials back to the last ice age, around 12,000 years ago. Now, how could a 16th century map show details only discovered recently by satellite mapping? Some believe that ancient cartographers may have had access to maps from much older sources. Imagine a culture with the technology, navigation skills, and curiosity to explore far-off continents thousands of years before the Polynesians or the Vikings actually began. Archaeology recognizes the Polynesian expansion as the earliest seafaring achievement, dating back to around 3,500 years ago. The Polynesians were astonishing navigators, crossing thousands of miles of open sea to reach islands as remote as Easter Island. But what if there were earlier voyagers, navigating oceans in ways we have yet to fully understand? Recent DNA findings in the Amazon rainforest point to another puzzle piece. Certain indigenous groups carry genetic markers commonly found in Polynesians, suggesting there may have been a cross-continental contact in ancient times. But the Amazon is far from the Pacific Islands, so how did these connections actually happen? Ancient maps like the Piri Reis weren't created in isolation. They reference even older source maps, some of which are thought to have originated from the Library of Alexandria. After its destruction, a few remnants were reportedly rescued and brought to Constantinople, which is today's Istanbul, and this is where map makers like Piri Reis could actually access them. Mapping coastlines precisely requires knowledge of both latitude and longitude. Now, latitude is pretty easy to calculate, but longitude, on the other hand, requires something like a chronometer, and that's an instrument that wasn't developed until the 18th century. Yet, these ancient maps include precise longitudes, as if ancient navigators had mastered this technology thousands of years before modern history claims. One more intriguing piece of evidence lies beneath the waves near the Bahamas. Known as Bimini Road, this underwater structure consists of large rectangular stones forming a path or a wall. Archaeologists debate its origins, with some claiming it's a natural formation and others arguing it's a man-made structure, possibly an ancient port or even a road. But here's where it gets really fascinating. Bimini Road appears in ancient maps as an island above sea level. Given that sea levels were much lower during the last ice age, could these maps date back to a time when Bimini Road was actually still visible? If so, it would mean that someone mapped it before it was submerged, thousands of years ago. So what does all of this even mean? Are these clues to a hidden chapter in human history? Did an advanced civilization thrive during the Ice Age, capable of mapping the globe and mastering ocean navigation? While many mainstream archaeologists remain skeptical, the questions raised by these ancient maps, underwater structures, and DNA findings are worth exploring. They push us to consider the possibility of a forgotten era of exploration, where ancient navigators braved the oceans and left their mark on history in ways we're only beginning to discover now. As we continue to uncover secrets buried in the ice and the sand, maybe one day we'll find an undeniable proof of this lost civilization. But until then, the mysteries of the Ice Age navigators remains a haunting reminder of a world we've yet to fully understand. And if you want to learn more about this wonderful world that we inhabit, subscribe for more content and consider watching the video on screen. And until next time, stay curious.